What's up, everybody? Today we're talking about what social media platform should you use when starting out and building a new online business. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brandon Kyle. I teach people how to make money online through affiliate marketing, side hustles, and other online opportunities that you can do from a laptop. So someone asked this in one of my live streams recently. I've actually done some posts on it before and talked about it in length in other live streams, but I guess we need a place where it'll exist on my YouTube channel in a long format content. And spoiler alert, the answer is that you should use the one that you think you'll be most successful at, and you should also use all of them. Right? So it's a double-ended answer and neither one of them seems to make sense. So let me break this down for you. So we have all these different social media platforms that any one person can use. We have Facebook, we got Instagram, we've got TikTok, we've got Pinterest, we've got YouTube, we've got Snapchat, there's Reddit, and there's all the Quora, right? There's all sorts of different places where you could be putting yourself out there. And the question is which one or which ones should you use when you're first starting out with your business? And these are some of the things that I learned from experience through failure over the years, that once I got a really good grasp and understanding of why you should use a particular social media platform, why you should use this one over another one. Why should I say, follow me on X, Y, and Z, right? So here's what I want to say is, number one, figure out which platform it is that you feel like you can be most successful at. The one that you feel like you'll be able to put time and energy and effort into without getting bored or discouraged when you don't see immediate results. A platform that you feel confident with, that you can learn, even if you don't know it 100% right off the bat, but you're like, I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to invest some time, and I'm going to invest my time into content creation to build something so they can be successful. And then later on, once that starts to take off, you can expand or cross promote or repurpose other content to other platforms. Okay. That's the big spiel. Okay. Now, in the book Traffic Secrets with Russell Brunson, I'll put a link below. If you don't own this book, I highly recommend to get it. There's tons of amazing bits and pieces in here. But there's a part of a chapter where he's talking about you want to create content where people consume it. Okay. And it was a very eye-opening component of this book right here that really gave me a huge aha moment. And before I get into it, I also had an interaction with somebody who was commenting on some of my posts here on TikTok. And she said something like, yeah, thanks for the feedback. I'm learning, like, you just got to put your socials out there and then create content. And that is not the right answer, actually. Okay. So if you just create a link tree, right, and you create your content and you post it everywhere, right? And it's like, ooh, here's my link tree. It's in my Instagram. And then if you go to the link tree, it's like Twitter and TikTok and YouTube and then Snapchat, right? There's all these different platforms you're posting it. That's great. Okay. But why should I, as a follower or somebody who's interested in what you're doing, why should I follow you? These are the questions you need to ask and figure out how to understand and answer. Why should I follow you on these other platforms? What exactly is it I'm going to get on these other platforms that I am not getting from you on this platform? Okay. And that's, part of a discussion that we're going to kind of touch on, which is how to take short form content to leverage into long form content instead of just creating short form content. But in the book, Russell talks about people who like to listen to podcasts. Yeah. Okay. People who like to watch YouTube. And that all seems to make you like, yeah, duh, right? Like, of course they do, right? But you need to create content on the platforms where people like to consume it. Okay. And that's the thing. So why would I say follow me on Instagram and Facebook and everything if you like TikTok, right? There is no real reason for you to leave TikTok if you're just going to start a new account on Instagram and see the exact same post that I cross post every day or every week. Does this make sense? Yes, you're like, okay, I get it. But the reason you are promoting the same content on TikTok and on Instagram and on Facebook and on Snapchat is to reach a different target demographic that likes to consume content on those social media platforms. Does that make sense? Okay, so you are building a new following on a new platform of people who may have never heard of you or seen you. Okay, and this is the really big takeaway, especially as someone who's 42 years old. Okay. I never believed that TikTok was just for the kids. I believed that, yeah, it was a bunch of kids dancing on TikTok, but I'm open to all the different platforms. And I didn't want to come to TikTok initially because I didn't have the energy to invest in a new platform because what I was already doing on another platform wasn't working. Does that make sense? Okay, nobody wants to do the same work twice if it's going to yield you nothing. Yes. However, on the flip side, TikTok or the TikTokers, the kids, they don't feel like the TikTok platform is for adults. Like, you're too old to be on TikTok. If it wasn't for the adults, you wouldn't have this platform created. We're taking it over and we're going to use it for our purpose. So that's just a different discussion than me going on a tangent. Okay. But you're creating new content on different platforms to reach a different demographic. However, in the beginning, what you want to do in the beginning, you want to start building up one profile on one platform that you understand because it will be easier for you to develop yourself, figure out the flow, get things going, and then grow it to a point where it starts to become a little more autopilot. Then you can start to either repurpose that content to other social media platforms, right? Or you can create longer form content, right? So this video is playing, and it's probably going to be 10 to 15 minutes long or something like that on YouTube. This was a small discussion on TikTok, right? And if we know anything about people's attention spans, different profiles or different social media providers, they have different lifespans for the content and attention span, right? So on TikTok, it's short form content. If you can knock it out in 15 seconds, great. If you can do it in 30, that's not too bad. Hopefully you can keep it under 60 seconds, right? If you get yourself built up to a high enough level and your content is super compelling, you could do 3-minute TikToks, but that has to be super kick-ass material that can keep people's attention for long attention spans, right? However, the lifespan of the piece of content that you create today may only last days, weeks, maybe months, but it probably will not be around still growing and going viral and getting likes, shares, comments, and follows a year down the road, right? So a very small lifespan, okay? Same thing for Instagram, okay? YouTube, on the other hand, we can do long form content. People come to YouTube to watch videos that are going to be in excess of 3 minutes to 5, 10, and sometimes 20, maybe even 60, depending on what it is, right? But you create that piece of content now and you can get likes, comments, views, shares, and monetization years down the road. Years. I have multiple videos from different things that I've created over the last, since 2010, since Instagram really started to, not Instagram, since YouTube started to take off. So for over 12 years, I have been posting videos on YouTube. And I have videos that are 6 to 8 years old that still get engagement and have almost 500,000 views. Now, 500,000 views over 8 years isn't much, but that's better than 1,000 over 8 years. And for some reason, these videos are still offering people value 8 years later, and they still get recommended, okay? So YouTube, typically you should be focusing on a long-term gain, okay? A very long-term gain. You create content, longer format, people will find it in the future. It's like a time capsule, and maybe the content, if it is truly timeless information, can still serve its purpose and generate revenue for you. That is the reason why, okay? So understanding when and where to expand, taking short form content off of TikTok that needs more than 3 minutes and needs an audience that has attention span of more than 3 minutes is how I leverage short form content to long form content on YouTube. Right? So now that's the real big takeaway. Right? Think about short form content on Twitter. Twitter is like small characters and you can upload some, I don't even use Twitter, right? But it's like little blurbs and that stuff doesn't live forever, but how can you leverage the content and the following that you create on Twitter to compel them to go to another site, right? If you wanted that, and what would be the incentive for them to leave this site and to come to this site, right? But really, like I said at the beginning, and now we've come full circle, right, is to reach a different target demographic, okay? So if we think about TikTok, right, all the kids that are like 12, or you got to be 13 to be on TikTok, I guess, right? So if you're like 13 to like 20-ish or something, they've just been eating up TikTok, right? If if it hasn't been posted on TikTok, these little these little kids who don't know shit about life, okay, they know nothing. It doesn't exist, right? And you're like, but dude, that was on Facebook 6 years ago. That's because we're old. We've seen a lot of things, right? We've seen all these things. So all these things that we used to post on Instagram that is old to us, this next generation of business potential customers has never seen it before, right? Think about that. Think about the young generation on TikTok who says, Facebook is for old people. How much of this old people content that these morons over here have never seen would be like, whoa, I've never seen that before. How can you repurpose and recycle that content, right, to reboost what you've done in the past, okay? So that's an interesting concept right there. So I'm going to leave you with that right there. If you really enjoyed this, drop a comment, say, wow, that was awesome. Give it a like, right? That was off the cuff. It's been in the brain, right? And I think that's a really, this is a very exciting talking point once you start to understand that. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Once again, my name is Brandon Kyle. I teach people how to make money online through affiliate marketing, side hustles, and other online opportunities that don't require you to show up to a job. Isn't that the dream, right? Living the laptop lifestyle, or at least living from home and never having to leave the house unless I want to. Cool. All right. I'll see you guys in another video.